Welcome back. Welcome back to Only Football. Pleasure to be here, everyone.
It's so fun. Oh, can you put some more enthusiasm in it?
No, I'm really not even that devastated because that's more or less how I expected that to go. Last week I said that the Manchester derby, I was expecting a bit of like a spirited performance that maybe we could build off of and 2-1 City win. I think you kind of saw that in the first half, riddled with errors, and in the second half,
No effort.
nothing,
Gave up.
nothing at all. Actually, truly embarrassing. How you doing?
It was a disappointing derby as a neutral fan, but it was a good week of football. I can't complain.
Arsenal look great.
They do look. They're in a good position right now.
Are you coming around to this now, or are you gonna stop saying that we have a chance at top four?
I don't know, but if they keep pace with Chelsea, you can say goodbye to it. You can say goodbye. You have a big game against Spurs, and you got to win that. No excuse. If you lose that or tie, I think you're out.
If you really want to stretch it to this coming weekend, yes, but we'll get into that. We will be previewing that match. But first, Mike, let's open up with the UEFA Super League.
Pretty much the Super League. Their new change for format for the 2024 season looks eerily similar to the Super League, but worse. I don't know.
I disagree with it being worse.
You don't think it's worse?
No, I don't.
Because there's still league play?
Yeah, well, there's, you can still, well, at least for now. Okay, so Mike, just break it down quickly, and then, Mike, we'll get into it.
Well, they're expanding from 32 to 36 teams. Group stages are replaced by one big league table. I don't know how they're going to determine which matches you face each other. They still haven't determined that.
That seems like you're going to get some good wheel greasing right there.
Yes, and with the top 8 teams automatically after the league play, top 8 teams after that point will be, I think it's 5 games home and away, or 10 games total.
Yeah, five home, 5 away. Yeah.
And they're already not struggling, but 6 games for the group stage is already enough. How are you going to add 4 more games in there throughout the season? Injuries all over it. That's what it has, and the quality of play is going to go down. And teams 9 through 24 play a 2-legged affair to make the final 8, and then from there it would be 2-legged affairs to the finals.
You mean? Sorry. Hold on a sec.
Teams 9 through 24.
Not for the final 8 though. It's for the round of 16. So they played in the round before the round of 16. Is that how it's going to go?
Yeah, they play a 2-legged tie to get into the round of 16.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
So 16 teams battle for 8. 9 faces 24, 10 faces 23, etc. And yeah, I don't know where they're going to find the space for these games and if the quality of play is going to be how they imagine it to, but I don't see this format being any better than the current format. And you should only replace the current format if you're making it better. Clearly, they have their thoughts on why it's better, but to me, as a neutral fan, yeah, it's just more games, more money, more teams. And you were saying that teams can make it based on merit. So
they're talking about it. They're talking about that. That has not been made official yet, but effectively that would just be essentially touching what the Super League is if they were to do that. Obviously, they would curb it. I have no doubt. It wouldn't be like you're set. There might be maybe a small amount of teams, but they are talking about not based on your domestic season from the season before, just based on what you've done in the past
in the Champions
League. And who knows how far they'll want to stretch that back, to get the likes of a United, for example, in there, which are a terrible team and they're a big draw.
All this screams is that they felt the pressure from the Super League and try to make it their own type of thing.
Well, and also to appease the owners that want to leave for the Super League as well, right? Who want to, take part in this mutiny, as it were. So yeah, basically, UEFA for Sefrin and UEFA themselves, well played, because basically what they just did there was they kept the integrity of the Champions League and not doing something as outlandish as the Super League, but just getting plenty more money in their pockets and keeping those teams tied down to them.
I hate it.
I hate it too. I still don't hate it as much as the Super League, though.
Oh, no. The Super League was at least constructed better, I think. They could tweak it a bit, but it seems as though it would be better because if you're going to go to this format, might as well just have the teams only play in that competition to make it that more appeasing.
Especially if they do the based on merit thing. If they do that, I mean, what's the difference? I mean, we'll see in a couple of years. I've said that I would never watch the Super League. That also the thing with the Super League is that it also completely eliminates those clubs from the domestic league.
Yes.
Right. So
yeah.
that's a big reason why I still prefer this. But in a couple of years, I will be looking at it and be like, am I going to support this at all? We'll see. Is there any way the players can push back? Because they're already getting run to the ground. Everyone knows this. They've added the UEFA Nations League, and there's so many matches, like as much as they can, and yet they've still stretched it into. Well, am I wrong here in thinking that there's a round of 32 then? Effectively, there's an extra round to get into the round of 16.
Yeah, pretty
right?
much. Yeah.
So there's 6 games. For a lot of teams, that's an extra 6 matches.
Yes. Doubles it down. I don't even know. Like, we already have enough international breaks, and
not according to Wenger.
He thinks there should be less. Oh, because he's implementing this.
He's pushing for a biennial World Cup. Him and why am I spacing on FIFA's that greasy bald guy?
Zephyr?
No. The Fantini. Is it Fantini? Infantino, the head of FIFA. Like they're pushing for biennial World Cups, man. It's despicable.
Yeah.
And that I won't partake. I will not pay attention. I will know whichever 4 years it is, and that's the one I'll pay attention to.
You'll keep to the original schedule.
Absolutely.
The 2 they sprinkle in, you won't pay attention to.
No, sir. Not at all. It's pretty deplorable. So yeah, I mean, do you think we have 2 years? It's 2 years from now. 2 and a bit. Can the players overturn this?
Hopefully they can, but I think it's out of their hands too. But I think the fans have more of a sway than the players.
It's been really quiet. What I think the thing is with this is that the fans are almost appeased in the sense that this
isn't the Super League.
It's not the Super League, and it should effectively end the Super League. So I mean, have you really heard much of a backlash from it? No, we haven't. It came out. People like you and I aren't happy about it. No one's rallying. It's not a massive outcry.
Unfortunate. Hopefully it doesn't go this way. Hopefully they tweak it or keep the same format, or just put back in the away goals. If they're going to do that, put back in the away goals, please.
It was a great rule. it was a great fucking rule. Okay, Mike. Big win for Milan on the weekend. Race. Napoli's not of it yet. Don't get me wrong, but
it was a big blow,
massive, and a huge boost for Milan.
Now they're 3 points behind same games on Milan, and 3 points behind, or
2 points behind.
1 point behind Inter. Right, Inter at 58. They have 57.
Naples at 57, and Inter's 2 points behind Milan with a game in hand.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Big win for Milan, and Napoli. You're not out of it yet, but as I said before in the last episode, now that you're behind, I don't see you coming from behind to win it. If you do, kudos. It's even a bigger achievement mentally, but it was a big. After the win they came off of Lazio and how they won, it was a big letdown. Being at home, disappointing the fans at the Maradona.
Giroud picked up injury. How severe that?
I didn't know. I just saw the highlights.
Yeah.
It was a nice finish. Quick thinking, just redirect. Great goal, but Zlatan did finish the match, so hopefully he's, I don't think he'll be fully fit ever again, but fit enough to, play effectively and not too much until Giroud gets back.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, Mike, let's get on to the Premier League. I don't really have anything to say, Mike. I really don't. It's just I complain about them week in, week out. my expectations on the floor. I texted Rom before the match, and I was like, and Joe was like, I couldn't be any more flaccid for this match. I'm not excited. I'm not expecting anything really good to come from this. And I was proven right. Even more so. It was maybe actually worse than I thought, considering it was a derby and just how little passion they put in there.
Yeah, and it proves that, maybe, hopefully everyone can see now who couldn't see before that Ronaldo is not the problem.
Whoa, well, yeah.
Well, unless if the players were disgruntled with it. Apparently he took off to Portugal. Is this true?
Yep.
When he didn't refuse to be on the bench though, right? Is that what?
See, I mean, obviously you can say that. Honestly, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if maybe he did, but he maybe just thought, okay, if I'm not starting, there's actually literally no point. If I have a niggling injury, there's no point. So what's he doing? He's not. If anything, he's looking out. He's going to wherever he needs to see in Portugal, whoever he trusts in Portugal, to come back. Hopefully for Spurs.
Yeah.
It's not like he's taking off until and Atletico. It's not like he's taking off until Portugal play Turkey and Italy. Okay, so people want to like get all up in arms about that. It's like, you know what, man? It honestly would have been a waste. He would have been like so many matches, especially when we're playing a top quality club. Would have been an island.
Yeah.
And hopefully he gets sorted out. It's possible that like maybe he could have. He has a bit of an injury, but he could have played through it off the bench, and he's kind of said forget about it. He never wants to jump on Ronaldo's back. Look at Cavani. That guy actually had 2 training sessions before that match, and he still refused to play. Cavani has been that's Cavani. We signed Cavani, but Cavani has been putting himself first before the team. Ronaldo, this whole season, has been out there wandering around with no service for the most part.
Yeah, and the reports today came out about Rashford being unhappy and evaluating his future.
Let him go. I've been saying that for half the season at least. Martial
already gone. Van der Beek hopefully coming back, but they need a young striker.
Well, Martial's on loan too.
Yeah, but will he want to come back? Will he force his way out?
I would be leaning on yes.
Yeah,
I would be leaning on yes.
I would be too. Hopefully, it gets all sorted out in favor of you and he gets some playing time, but. You guys need some deep recruiting, and it's unfortunate that the Fred streak came to an end. It was a great streak, but all good streaks have to come to an end. But
how many games is that undefeated with Fred on the road? We don't know, but it's dating back to last year.
Yeah,
that's when we were
like 20-something. It's like 20-something.
I think it's probably more because we went, and I don't really count this. Like Arsenal had the undefeated record on the road. I think it was like 28 or 29, and then we broke it. And a large part of those matches were during. No fans.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Fred was there for the vast majority of those matches, and then some after it was broken because he didn't play.
Yes.
I think it was against Leicester.
Yeah.
And we got smacked by Leicester. And and you know what? Apparently, Mike Moore reports that some of the players, a lot of hearsay, but this shit's been going on all season in terms of dressing room unrest due to Ronaldo probably setting the bar too high for these fucking wins.
Bums.
And now they're coming out, complaining about the fact that he wasn't there to really support them in the stands or something like that. What do you want?
That's the next thing to whine about. Never pointing the finger at others and not themselves and not looking within.
And you can say it's all hearsay, but you can take Harry Maguire verbatim on countless post-match interviews when United don't get a result that they probably should, or at least don't put in performance. Not to say that we should have, like we were expected to do anything at City, but didn't put any kind of performance in, and just never takes any accountability. Does it again? Yes, he says he says we didn't come out and look after the ball. Are you kidding me? No, we didn't. You're absolutely right. You're right. You're right. For the last 15 minutes, I think the possession was 90-10. 92-8.
Yeah.
Even better. And yeah, fine. There's no desire. There's no desire there. And what about the back? De Gea gives up 4 goals. He still makes at least three incredible saves.
Yeah. And
what are you doing?
Sloppy play, sloppy defending.
And by who?
Maguire.
Well, all of them. But Maguire is culpable for at least 2.
Yep.
How do you he has no idea where to stand and position himself for that first goal.
Mm-hmm.
Tellez was late picking it up too.
Yeah, he was trying to point out the danger. There was Mahrez at the back post, but in that situation, Tellez, you do have to take the brunt of the first guy, and if it does go over your head to Mahrez, at least by the time it gets there, it affords you an extra second or two for everyone to shift over.
Yeah.
You always have to assess out the immediate danger. But
also, where's Fred on that? Or McTominay? Who's tracking back, actually running with De Bruyne? Kevin De Bruyne, the best player on the pitch.
I don't know.
And then the second goal, great save by De Gea. And then it's just a comedy of errors. The best part for me is
The
Maguire.
The Megan Maguire?
Yeah, the Megan Maguire, megging himself.
Yeah.
Put it out, man. He lets it. He megs himself on purpose. That was on purpose. He let it go. He let the ball go.
We blocked the second one, but it goes off Tellez right to De Bruyne.
That shouldn't happen. It should have been a corner.
Well, first, I think it should have been a better ball by Elanga over, I believe, Cancelo or someone. They had a chance to get it clear to Fernandez, but underhit it, and that's what caused the turnaround. Lindelof went in way too rash and without his head, easily flicked over Foden to begin that all. But just bad defending. It was a bad error that led to a series of bad defending. And third one was, a bit of unfortunate, but
marking. Also,
no marking. Yeah, off a corner, everyone should have a man, or at least have the space towards a man that they say if it goes to him, it's enough time for me to get there.
Yeah.
Goes off Maguire. I think De Gea gets a hand on it. I don't know if he saves it, but he definitely gets a hand on it if it doesn't deflect off Maguire. And by then once that goal went in, you could feel that it was over. They just used their two subs before, bring on Rashford and Lingard.
Did nothing.
Yeah.
They have no desire whatsoever. Let them go. And Lingard, obviously, but let Rashford go, man. Let him go. The guy's head is as big as Maguire's. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. I know I said I had nothing to say about it, but I can't help myself.
Well, I think we covered everything. I'll put you out of your misery.
Yeah. I will say, actually, you know what? The more I think about it, though, maybe these guys really do care about United in the sense that they don't want Liverpool to get that tying title. Maybe that's it. And they just let City walk them. They threw in an extra goal in the 89th or 90th, whatever it was.
Well, we'll really see if they beat Liverpool in a few games' time. Then we'll
or if they put in performance even, then we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, you guys know what it is to be United. Just living off the back of everyone else. All right, Spurs-Everton. Is Everton getting relegated? Mike, I asked this last week.
I still don't think so, but that was a shocking performance.
Mike, like that defending was
atrocious.
Here's a question for you. Harry Maguire or Michael Keane?
We had this question last week.
I'll ask it again. I'll ask it again.
It's still Maguire, but
what, that you would
barely
drop?
No, that I would play.
Man,
it was shocking. It was a bad. Well, he sees it all the way across, gets just put it out for a corner, but he was at fault for 2 of the 3 goals, or 5. Well, that's 5 goals, but 2 or 3.
In the first half, own goal,
the Kane goal, yeah, he gave up way too early.
Reguilon's goal, everyone's just getting cut through,
Son's goal was, I wouldn't blame any defending, but Pickford is,
yeah, should have done better there.
Longer arms.
It doesn't matter.
Actually, shorter arms, he would have saved it. I think if he had longer arms or shorter arms, he would have saved it.
You have to get down for that.
I know.
That's just lazy.
And 5th goal was a world-class goal, so I can't blame anyone for that. But at that point, it was all Spurs throttle, and Everton were just praying for the 90 minutes to get off the field. Everyone would want it to get subbed off.
Mike, they
have 2 big games the next 2 games.
Outside the FA Cup, Mike. They are, since Lampard got there.
They're 1-4 with Lampard.
They are 1-4.
Yeah, 1 win, the 3 losses.
Yeah, and then Wolves and Newcastle Everton at home for both to follow. They're still in the FA Cup. I mean, we could be seeing another Wigan.
Yeah. Relegation and win the FA Cup? No, I don't think so. I think the teams...
Playing in the conference league
they shouldn't get relegated, okay? Obviously, could they get relegated? Yes. Do I see them going down? No. The talent on their team, it's just a horrendous year. Hopefully, they can get through it and stay in the division and, regroup next year, come back hopefully not injured, because injuries have plagued them, which is unfortunate, but this is doing up their own demise and performance, and they just seem to have lost it. Maybe they need some spirit. I don't know how they gain it this year, but they're going to need to gain it to stay up, which I do still think they will because of the quality on their team.
Yeah, I'm gonna I had it on while I was cooking, so I was really just kind of seeing the goals, like whenever the commentator's voice rose in ecstasy. But I am gonna watch the first half an hour again. I just want to keep an eye on Van der Beek again, because myself included, getting a little bit carried away, especially after he dominated Leeds, and the results haven't been coming. So I do want to see how he's doing there. And
this isn't the game to watch.
It's something though. I mean, to see the manner of their goals. Yes, the back line was shambolic, but the midfield was getting cut up as well.
Yeah.
Especially that Reguilon goal. Who's it? Son was just weaving through, and I don't know. It's just the reason why is because Rangnick didn't put him in either, right? So what's going on there? What is going on there? But yeah, big result for Spurs.
Keeping that Europe race tight.
I mean, they are only 3 points
behind
back
you guys
of Arsenal, and Arsenal only have one game in hand on them.
Yeah, they're 2 points back of you with a game in hand, 2 games in hand, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not looking good for you guys. Not looking good. You guys are gonna have to get to the
Mike. You don't have to tell me this. I told you this last week.
65 point
I've been
mark.
alluding to it for a while, but after the Watford one, I called it after Watford for me. That was it.
The most you can get is 77, and you're probably going to need at least 65.
Oh, what, for top 4?
Yeah.
At least 65.
Yeah.
At least, for sure. Especially the way Arsenal playing, man.
Meaning you'll have to win 7 of your last 10.
Especially the way Arsenal playing. And we have Arsenal on the road. We've got Liverpool and Spurs. All right, so... And we have Chelsea, I think.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Second last week. I was just saying, I don't know if I was saying to you on the show or I was saying to someone, I was like, maybe it was Jerome. I was like, I swear there's never big name matchups in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, not really.
But there is this year. And then I was checking United's schedule, okay, what do you know?
Well, hopefully who knows? By the time that gets there, Chelsea's already in the top 4 and, or throwing the game or playing non-starters. But knowing Chelsea, they'll probably play to knock out United.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless they're still lingering in the Champions League and they don't want to risk anything.
Yeah.
Also, always forget, like, subscribe, comment, and come reach out to me at OnlyFootballPod on Instagram. And there's your shameless plug for the day. I'll probably do another one at the end if I remember. Okay, Mike, we're going to do one preview in the PL today, and that is for this weekend coming up. We're going to kind of bypass the Thursday matches. A lot of makeup matches there.
Are we going to touch the relegation battle or no?
I honestly, Mike, if you want to make it 2, I'm not opposed to doing Brentford-Burnley. And that, there's so much going on. Let's leave. We have Champions League this week, and we'll come back more or less, I guess, after the break.
Might review it next week.
Fair play. Okay, so United hosting Spurs. Do you want to lead the way?
Teams coming off of opposite performances. It depends who's playing for United. I think this is obviously Spurs are on not a roll, but they're either playing really well or playing really badly. Hopefully for you, you guys always seem to have their number, either in ties or wins, but not dropping 3 points. But this game is it's good. I think it might be better. I thought it would be better if you guys were playing on the road, but you guys are playing at home now. And I think it doesn't help your team's performance because I feel as though you guys are a better road team. It's sometimes
because our crowd gets on them.
But Spurs are actually not that good on the road, so that's what helps you on this. Will this 5-0 Everton smashing change it? Because just a few weeks before they lost after beating City, they lost to Burnley, and they always when they have big games, they usually have follow up with not so good games, and it's the consistency that Spurs always lack. For this game, though, I for some reason it just has tie written all over it. No team, it's going to hurt both teams, and no team is going to win. I have 1-1.
Arsenal would love that.
Oh, they would. But I think it will be detrimental to both teams in the race for top 4 and possibly Europa, I should say. At this point, I would rather not. If I were you, I would rather not finish in Conference League and
You want to finish in 8th?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would. Well, Europa League as well included. You mean?
If you finish 5th or 6th and take Europa League, I would take it.
I'll take Europa League.
Yeah,
I'll take it. But no, Conference League, no, absolutely not. But I don't think we're dropping that far. I honestly could see us getting Europa League, but not 8th, which would be the worst situation.
The best situation. The best
worst.
Of the worst.
No, Conference. Sorry.
Conference League.
Sorry, I'm saying because it's the Europa Conference League. I'm just calling it the same thing. It'd be interesting to see what the injuries are like. I think Varane should be back. There's always there's been a little something there, here and there with him.
Bissaka can't play. Bissaka can't play.
No, Wan-Bissaka cannot play, and I don't think he will. Harry Maguire cannot play. I honestly do think he will get dropped again. Rangnick he was a little stubborn for a bit in terms of not dropping him, and then he's dropped him, he's brought him back. Varane's hurt. If Varane's healthy, you have to go with Varane Lindelof, and I think he will do that. I think those two actually have played well together. Pushes the lineup a little bit more as well. Maguire can't deal with that, so it helps us offensively. I mean, look at the Watford match. We missed a glut of chances in that match, and Watford didn't actually create too much. I didn't really feel threatened. It was just very disheartening to not get a result there. So I think those two have to play. Honestly, I like Bruno, but obviously,
I want to drop Bruno too for this match.
I want to give Mabry a start.
Oh, you just want to unleash the youth right now, not later in the season.
He's been on the bench for the last month, and he hasn't even come on yet. And he's someone that when we got him, I think we plucked him off of Monaco, and there's a lot of hype about him. He's done very well in the under-23s, and now obviously I think Rangnick did mention maybe a month or two ago that he did intend on playing him, and you could very well be right, and probably are, that he's going to wait until
end of the season
when things are wrapped up. But honestly, I think Bruno needs another kick up his ass, and he's been okay. Rangnick, that is, again, with dropping Bruno as well.
He was bad against City.
He was terrible. He was awful, and he needs to. He still, despite having not a great season, he still is creating plenty of chances, but that is also him always going for that killer pass. So I think that's, a byproduct of him getting chances, but also us turning the ball over. He needs to just dial it back a little bit. And I think he's someone that does respond well to criticism. He's a whingy ass bitch. Don't get me wrong. I love him, but I totally see why neutrals or rival fans
he's always complaining.
Always. And that needs to get reeled in. That needs to get reeled in a bit too. I like the fact you need to get into the ref's face, sure. But the way he does it.
And it's too much. It's every game. At least take some games off and don't make it so obvious.
But I wouldn't drop him for. See, this is why, and this is why I'm saying this, because you could drop him for Pogba, but then to me, I guess maybe fine, drop him for Pogba and then start Matic and then beside either McTominay or Fred, one of the two. But what I would like to see is at least 60 minutes of Matic and Pogba. Fred McTominay on the bench, and then maybe give Mabry a half, even if he's if it just looks like he's just kind of out of his depth, fine, pull him and you bring in Bruno, great, and then maybe you just kind of lock it up for maybe the first 20 minutes, nothing's happening, he seems out of his depth, maybe just try to get to halftime at 0-0 and then bring Bruno in. But I would drop McFred. I would drop Bissaka.
A lot of changes, eh? You make four changes.
Man, I think he has been pretty good, Rangnick, at sending a message to players. But and another message is Lingard and Rashford do not get in that team. They play for half an hour, and they did nothing. They did nothing, man.
Well, the whole team did nothing.
I know, but you come off the bench in a derby and you're down by 1 goal, and you put in that level of effort. It's embarrassing.
It is. Show them wear the shirt.
No,
for not a while, but
no,
the whole team needs a talking to.
Forever.
Hopefully, they need a players only meeting.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's been going really well when you're looking at one of the best players of all time suggesting things to do and how to up your levels, and that obviously just creating more divide. They've been coddled, man. Those guys have been coddled.
No,
and Spurs, don't touch a thing. Sessegnon, too bad for him. Hopefully Sessegnon's not out for too long because, watching him, seeing that Fulham, like, oh wow, this kid's got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of just faded away for 2 years. I think this is his third year there now.
Yeah.
And finally, he's getting game after game. Conte is back, and that's saying a lot. And he's been putting in performances. I think a couple of assists his last 2 games. I don't know how bad his injury is, but not, I think, a huge deal for Spurs based on what they just did today.
Yeah, Romero also went off injured in the 50th.
Yes, he did.
That
could help.
It could, but I think you still need to start.
I
still think you need to start Bruno for this game just because of the moments that he could change a match. And
I get it.
I think scoring the first goal is huge for United in this game. If they go down 1-0.
It's a little. I think the Bruno one. Would you say the Bruno one's a little drastic on my part?
Yes, you can't make that many changes. I can say 2 or 3 tops, but you're suggesting 4. Being what? McFred,
5.
Bisaka. 5. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Maguire. I forgot about that. But I think Maguire plays this game. I think it's probably Varane. If anything, Lindelof will play the right. But I think at this point you should go with Dalot.
Yep. Yeah,
I'm
not a problem with that. I'm not really sure why he ended up getting dropped because Rannick seemed to like him, but he did. I mean, defensively he's a little shaky.
Who would you put on? Who do you put? Tellez or Shaw?
I think Shaw still might be hurt.
So it has to be Tellez then.
But I'm fine either way.
Well, hopefully you get a win. Hopefully there's an Arsenal loss and there's a win.
Arsenal do play Leicester, and Leicester does cause them some problems in the past. Has caused them some problems in the past. I think Vardy really loves to show up against them, and Vardy's back, and they've been. It's been about a game in 10 minutes, but he's been doing quite well.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, Arsenal have won the last 2 under Arteta. It looks, when did Arteta come in? November 2019.
Yeah, he was there.
So that was probably one of his first matches when he lost. When they lost. So under Arteta, 1-2 for Leicester, 3 wins for Arsenal and a draw. It's been tight. Yeah, I mean, hopefully they can pull it out. But I don't hold my breath. Arsenal have been phenomenal at home.
Yeah, but they still have a lot of games to come in. Well, luckily they have no other competition.
They have no other comps, man.
Are they out of FA Cup?
Yep, they lost to Nottingham Forest. Who won again today? One of your boys.
Yep, they
making a run.
Yeah, hopefully they make a run in the correct competition.
Well, I know they're playing Huddersfield today too, and I was thinking that I was like, Huddersfield, I think are in second right now in the championship, and that's who just wants to kind of
just focus on
flood this and focus on the championship. Probably might have been better if Nottingham lost, but hey. Just obviously you show up and you want to win the game, but anyway. Okay, Mike, Champions League.
We're just going to touch on the 3, but not going to ignore the 4th one, I assume.
Yeah, let's ignore Real PSG. No one wants to watch that.
We'll start off in order, I guess.
Yeah. Let's
Salzburg, Bayern.
Yes. Bayern at home.
1-1 the first leg, and Bayern was lucky to get out of there 1-1. It could have been 2-0. They did miss the host of chances, but Salzburg, you know what? We both we knew they could play attractive football and maybe pull a shock one leg, but I don't know, 1-1 from home. I know from their point they played well as they could have, and Bayern, weren't the Bayern that we know. They're a bit wasteful, but a lot of half chances that usually they convert and make real chances. And maybe that was the wake up call they needed. I'm just saying, we're not just going to breeze by these, show up and beat these teams. These teams are actually going to take it to us. And Salzburg, nothing to lose. I'm hoping it's a good game.
I'm starting with that one. I'm starting.
Yeah, because I think that's the most open one. I think if they score early again, Bayern on their heels, anything can happen. Yeah. But I do expect Bayern to snap out of it. Play.
Neuer might be back.
I still will make you play.
I don't think he will be either. But they're talking about it, and I was like I saw that today. I was like, I could have sworn he was out until
I thought it was like 2 months,
April or something like that. But apparently. It's coming. Yeah, it just seems like okay, maybe he'll be back. Obviously sooner than we expected, but I don't see it for tomorrow.
But yeah, I expect Bayern to win. Maybe not as convincing as I once thought, but I think it might just have a 2-0 Bayern on it. hopefully
I like Salzburg to get a
score.
goal. Last time for the first leg I had 4-2 Bayern just because I thought Salzburg was kind of go out there and have fun and.
But they were having fun. They were having fun, that's for sure. But they were also, they could have made a big chance where they could have made it 2-0 in the 80th, and that would have completely changed the tie.
Yeah, absolutely. That would have been nice. That would have been really. I've been really excited for this tie if they went 2-0. Even one, but especially two. It's like they have one, like that's probably done. But
it would have been a lot more exciting if it was 1-0 and the away goal rule was still in effect.
Does Germany have fans yet?
I think it's limited, but I think they were barred behind. I think they have like 20% or 25%.
Okay, still on that. It's wild. I'm going to 2-1 Bayern.
2-1?
Yeah.
Hopefully it's 2-1.
For Salzburg.
Yeah. You want Bayern out?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, just in case, man.
United's still in this tournament.
Oh, my goodness. All the big boys you want to lose. Right?
Of course. What do you mean?
We're
minnows.
I want to see the best 4 teams in the semis. That's all I do. Or Juve, right?
Okay, so if Juve's in the semis,
I want the big teams to remain, and as long as we're not drawing them, we're good.
So this would help you.
Yes, it would, but the City would get Salzburg.
So
somehow.
Realistically, you want 2-1 Salzburg.
Sure.
Come on, stop with the facade here.
No, I want Bayern. I want the best teams in the competition, right? That's why we watch football, to see the best of the best, or the underdog story.
Right, United. And my team, my crappy underdog team, I need all the help I can get. All right, and so do they.
No, yeah, but you have 2-1 Bayern.
Yes,
yeah, we'll be shocking. Hopefully, maybe that'll get a big way to start off the Champions League round of 16 with an upset.
That'd be nice. But I'm fine either way because yes, like I'd love to watch Bayern play as well. So, and United's not going to win the term anyway. So, realistically, it's better for Bayern to stay in the tournaments. The likes of City and Liverpool have a tougher go at it.
Yeah.
So
for year 2, yeah.
That's what I'm down to as a United fan. Is just
hoping my rivals
cheering for other teams to stop United's immediate rivals. Like next year, if City win the title this year, the Prem that is, I'm a big Chelsea fan. I don't want Liverpool tying United's Premier League titles. And I don't want City winning 3 in a row. So, up the Blues. Okay, Liverpool Inter, and Inzaghi's come out and said that, the first goal, and he's obviously right, but getting the first goal, and I think he alluded to relatively early, is crucial. So,
to quiet the crowd down?
Well, yeah, but and then, honestly, like, if they do get the first goal in the first half an hour, then,
it's a tie.
It's a tie, and like they can honestly just kind of sit back for 40 minutes if they need to. I wouldn't invite Liverpool to do that at home, but keep them honest anyway. The thing is that are they going to get burnt by this? He's right. He's absolutely right. They really do have to. Like, they obviously have to get the first goal. There's no question.
They have to play the match of their lives.
But where he's more right is that they have to get it pretty early. And I mean this tie, I think in both of our minds is already done. We're hoping that it's not, because if they get the first goal, it's tie on.
Mm-hmm. I'll start with the Salzburg Bayern game, but if I see 1-0 Inter, I'm switching right
away. Absolutely. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at too. If Bayern go up by 2 and it's still 0-0, I'll switch to Inter. If Inter score and make it 1-0, I'll immediately switch to Liverpool Inter. But that approach, which is the only approach, to me, I think kills the tie in the first 20 minutes.
Gozens is back. He got an assist. Came off the bench, of course, but he might play a role in this. He might start. He could do some damage, and especially I can see him catching Arnold out of position and creating a chance that they need to score. Obviously, Martinez hasn't scored in a while. Scored his first league goal since end of November, early December, I think. And they scored 5, so it's a good way to go into this tie. But it's asking a lot to come back. If Liverpool score once, I think it's over.
Agreed. Agreed. I do think I'm very excited about the wing-back matchup, because I think you're right. I think it probably will be Gosens and Dumfries.
Yeah,
who can hold their own and are both pretty damn good going forward. Gosens especially. So it's intriguing, and defensively, definitely tip the cap to Gosens. over Arnold 100%. Midfield battle. They have to put an amazing performance.
Yeah, Barella would have to stand out.
Yeah.
For their sake, hopefully Vidal doesn't start.
Why would he? Come on. Sometimes he does. Sometimes, but come on. What are you doing? Don't put him in there.
I know.
He's done, and he'll probably take a red card.
I have this being 2-1 Liverpool. A nice, comfortable 4-1 aggregate.
You know what, man? I just think that I'm going to 3-0 Liverpool. I just think that they don't get that first goal, and once Liverpool get it, they just
collapse.
You know what? It would be refreshing. It's just like I could almost kind of spare Inter because they've put in such great work of late, and they're actually. It'd just be interesting to see, should they go down 1-0, how they respond, what kind of performance they put in. Do they?
Yeah. Do they just mail it in, or do they at least go down fighting?
Yeah.
Make a respect, because it hasn't been a good competition for them the last few years. Barely, not even making out of the group stage. But yeah, hopefully it's a good match. But I don't see Liverpool blowing this 2-0 lead.
No, nor do I. Okay, Mike. So we'll skip by City Sporting, which is one that we're obviously not even going to bother touching on. Maybe he'll throw in Cole Palmer in there and Nathan McKay.
Yeah, probably. I would see so. Yeah, probably Stones.
Well, no,
Zinchenko.
Well, Stones. It was Stones and it was Stones and who was on the port against United, right? Yeah. Stones and anyway,
I would say Stones
in that case, and Zinchenko gets a start, and yeah, there we go. Bring out all those terrible bench players. Okay, Mike. PSG, Real hosting PSG. PSG up 1-0.
Ramos out. Mbappe looks likely out.
Is it likely? Because he picked up the knock yesterday, right?
They said it'll be a doubt, right? But I'll see him coming off the bench. I don't see him starting.
Really, eh? It's okay.
They may miss it. I don't know if they're just putting that out there to mind fuck Real, but it seemed like.
And they didn't play. And he didn't play against Nice on the weekend.
No, he didn't. I don't think the Ramos not being there isn't a big deal because he hasn't been playing, but it would have been nice to see if he was a double agent secretly. Stay true to Los Blancos, but this is definitely the juiciest tie of the round of 16. It can go either way, especially now with the away goal being canceled out. Can PSG muster offense? That's what I think this is coming down to. I think Poch is going to play the situation, play kind of conservative, and just play for the break. I don't think Real will go out there pressing for that goal, but I think they'll have. They were horrible against PSG the first time, and I don't see them replicating that performance. Obviously, Benzema has more games in him now, and he's integral to their offense.
Yeah. Sounds like you're kind of alluding to the fact that PSG are pretty much going to approach how Real approached the first leg.
Yes. And just play the advantage and not, especially with Mbappe, not all their weapons. You just replace Mbappe with Di Maria, not a bad substitution, downgrade. But I don't know. I feel as though it's going to be a more inspired Real performance, and they're going to take it to PSG. And I don't know how PSG are going to respond. And that's what makes this game so interesting.
Casemiro's out. Remember?
Yeah.
That's huge. Is Cruz still injured? Casemiro's suspended. Is Cruz still going to be out?
I think he'll play, but I think there'll be Valverde probably slotted in there. Vinicius.
Camavinga came up big on the weekend.
Is he back?
Yeah, he scored on the weekend.
Okay, so it'll be Camavinga then.
He might have gotten an assist too. But even before Camavinga was injured for a little bit, he actually wasn't getting game time.
Yeah.
So are we? Let's say we know Casemiro's out. If Cruz is also out, who is that midfield for you? Modric,
Valverde, Camavinga.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless if he just changes formation and does something unexpected, maybe does 4-2-3-1 to hopefully get maybe slot in Asensio. I doubt it'll be Bale or Hazard starting.
Do you want to do a 4-2-3-1 when you don't have Casemiro?
Well,
I guess that adds that'll.
Well, you need a goal, right? So
Mhm.
you got to play on the front foot,
Mhm.
right? And if
The 4-3-3.
you might have, yeah, but if you don't trust Valverde and Camavinga, then you might just do Camavinga and Modric, having him play more deeper line and being able to play the long balls, or just slotting someone into a better position offensively, like Asensio or Benzema dropping in deep and having runners behind. But Real Madrid can't play worse than they did against PSG in the first leg, where they showed no fight.
No, they were fortunate.
They only be down 1-0.
Yeah,
it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, no one's counted them unlucky for conceding in the last minute there at all. Should have been a good 3-0. But hey, that's on PSG.
Yeah, but do you see a replica of that performance from Real?
No.
Backs against the wall. They're playing better now.
No, absolutely not. No. They'll have to take it to them. But they absolutely do not need to expose themselves. Mbappe on the break or not. Just be wary of that counter.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm doing 1-1. I think PSG get by late. I think Real Madrid go up 1-0 and PSG just squeak out a goal in like the 75th and just see that they just hold on.
I also had 1-1, but for parity's sake, I'll go 2-1 Real.
Hopefully it's 2-1 Real.
And then we get some bogus. It'd be kind of sweet. It'd be kind of sweet if Real won 2-1 and then they went on to win in extra time or penalties.
Oh yeah.
And PSG get knocked out based on the no goals rule. Like if they're they're the first big team to suffer from that as well, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
I'll take
either of these teams really, but I mean it's not going to affect Real. So, so yeah, I guess that's what I'm pulling for.
Yeah. For Arsene Wenger to eat his words.
Yeah. Well, Wenger might have had a hand in that, but was it because Wenger's more FIFA, isn't he? I think Wenger's more FIFA. So he was calling for that when
he was a manager,
right? So anyway, but yeah, I don't think he actually implemented it. Oh, and there's Europa League on Wednesday too, 12:45. A little warm up, a little appetizer. I'll take it.
Not bad, yeah.
That's
not
all right.
bad to have games there.
That's okay. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in at OnlyFootballPod on Instagram, and get the comments, like and subscribe. Tell your friends. We'll see you next week.
See.
See.